Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Pushkar. So from today we will be learning about Solidity. But what is Solidity? Now Solidity is the programming language that we will be using in order to write smart contracts in the Ethereum blockchain. However, before we get started with Solidity, there are several prerequisites to Solidity, and we will discuss about those prerequisites in this video. So before even we discuss prerequisite, just to ensure that you go and check out our video where we have discussed important concepts like blockchain, smart contracts, and the entire ecosystem around it, because you will eventually need to understand how smart contract works in order to write proper smart contracts using the Solidity programming languages. So in today's video, we'll go through all the prerequisites. Now, the first prerequisite to the Solidity, and before we get started with the actual fundamentals of the programming language, is that I want to ensure that Solidity should not be your first programming language, right? So you should have understanding or fundamentals, basic fundamental understanding of some other programming language as well, like Python or JavaScript, right? So it is not recommended to have Solidity as your first programming language. So now let's go through all the prerequisites. So the first prerequisite would be the IDE. Now here we can use any IDEs like VS Code, and we have all the extensions required in order to get started with the development. However, I will be using Remix, right? So if you search Remix, so remix.ethereum.org is what the IDE we will be using. So now let's go through and see what the Remix IDEs looks like. So this is how the structure of a Solidity project would look like. So we have the contract. Now contract folder will have all the Solidity files where we'll be writing down our smart contracts. Then we have scripts and test where we'll be writing down the test cases in order to test our Solidity and smart contract cases. And then we have even the IPFS. So now all of this we'll discuss in the videos to come. However, what I wanted to show you that we have say few default smart contracts already there. So this is like a storage.sol. Now we'll not go through all the key features and the keywords that we have here. However, what a general smart contract will look like, this is what the storage system is. So now you can go ahead and we can compile the Solidity. So this is like a Solidity compiler. Currently, the version of the Solidity compiler is 0.8.7. And I have basically enabled the auto compile, so I can go ahead and we can compile it. And then what we need to do after the compilation is done, we need to deploy it. However, once we compile the Solidity code, there are two important things that we do. So let's check that. So the first thing is, like, every time we write a smart contract and it goes to the Solidity compiler, there are two files that gets created. One is called the ABI, which is the abstract binary interface. Another one is the bytecode. Now ABI is a very important file because it is through this particular interface that all the other dApps will be using our smart contract or will be directly communicating to our smart contract. So I have already compiled the sample storage with Solidity. And if you go here, so here is our compilation details. So we have all the names, metadata, bytecode, and the ABI all are listed over here, right? So effectively, the ABI and the bytecode are the two main important things. Now let's see what does this Solidity smart contract in this case is. So we just have a number and we have a storage function and a method to just retrieve that storage function, right? So if I copy my ABI and maybe if I go to say any online notepad, so this is how the ABI looks like. So it also has a method called as a retrieve and a method which updates the state of the blockchain called as store. So if you'll go back and if you verify, so we also have a store and a retrieve. So similar to that, we also have something like a bytecode that we just discussed. So bytecode is essentially the code, or it basically is the set of instruction that runs into that EVM. EVM is the Ethereum virtual machine. Now, if I copy this bytecode and say go to that notepad again, so if you see here, so here there is an object key. Now, this is what exactly is our bytecode. Now through this bytecode, what gets created is an opcode. Now this opcode is what is basically the set of instruction that has to be run on the EVM. So if I go here and say add 0 and X and then try to decode this. So once I decode it, you see that set of instruction that gets created. Now, all of these set of instruction are the one that is going to get executed, and we even have something called as an EVM opcode, where the Ethereum virtual machine opcode and the instruction reference is there. So you can go ahead and check this out as well. So this is how the remix ID looks like. So we generally use remix in order to say compile our code, write test cases, deploy, and then go ahead and test it. So now, as far as the deployment is concerned, so if I'll go ahead in the deployment, these are the environment. So this is basically by default JavaScript VM. And one special thing about Remix is that it is also made of JavaScript. So if for JavaScript developer, this is like a really good reference to get started. Now what you see here is the account. So these are just the test accounts. So these are fake ethers that we need in order to process our transaction. And here is the gas limit that we can set, and this is the storage file that we're going to deploy. So once we deploy, so now we can go ahead and we can analyze this. So right now, I mean, we do not have anything, so we'll go ahead and we'll try to store something. Maybe we'll store 12, and then if I try to go ahead and say retrieve it, so you see that retrieve 12. So I am able to retrieve that. So all of this store and the method is basically an actual transaction that is happening into the blockchain. But this is again a test net, not an actual like main net that we have. So another prerequisite to getting started with the development would be difference between the mainnet and testnet. So there is a very interesting website called as mastercrypto.com. So you can go and check this out in order to learn a lot of blockchain related concepts. So I want to show you this particular diagram where especially on the Ethereum blockchain, this is how the mainnet and testnets are basically categorized as. So the mainnet is something with a network ID 1, and testnets are usually say 3, 5, 7. So you can go ahead and check this link as well. Other than this, in order to get started, the fundamentals and the concepts are important. So please do not skip that. And in the next video, we'll get started with the Solidity. Thank you.